Right. So, this episode bummed me out. Episode 8 totally bummed me out. I can't believe that I actually feel bad that Cyril was killed off. And it was how he was killed off. I mean, so many layers to this. So we finally got the Gorman massacre because even though the geniuses were told that this was a trap, they were still like, let's protest. What part of this is a trap did you not fucking understand? So, and Cassian failed in his mission to kill Dedra, which he had a chance many times and never did. And then Cyril came and fought him because whatever character development he went through in this arc, this season, completely went out the window when he saw Cassian. His hatred of Cassian overruled the fact that he was super pissed off with Dedra just a few minutes ago and almost killed her simply because he found out that they were right, that there was mining equipment. Cyril had no idea that they were going to mine the planet to death. And Cyril realized that something was going on. Dedra told him, and she's like, oh, but we'll be gone. We'll be back on Coruscant. We'll be fine. And he's just like, what the fuck? He was horrified that not only that this was happening, but Dedra was so calm about it, which actually she wasn't. I mean, you could tell that she was a little uneasy about the fact that you're basically killing a planet because you're killing all the people on it. And she was really uneasy about the plan to do a false flag, which was to get a sniper to shoot at Imperials so they would have an excuse to shoot at the protesters. I honestly thought that when some of the protesters were throwing rocks, that would already be the instigation. And technically it was, because at some point Dedra got the call to escalate things. So Cyril runs out into the protest. So I thought, okay, he's going to get shot in the protest. There's going to be some crossfire. He's going to get shot. Whether it's by an Imperial or by a rebel, either way, he's going to get shot. And he's just standing there, not a scratch on him. He's just looking around, dumbfounded as to what's happening. It wasn't until the only times he showed emotion was to Dedra when he tried to kill her and when he saw Cassian. Now, I was hoping that he would actually see Cassian and apologize to him for what is happening, or find when he saw some of the resistance fighters, to either warn them what was happening or to just try to get them out or something. But he did nothing until he saw Cassian, in which case he started attacking him. Also, there would be a reason for the father, who had said we shouldn't be doing this. He knew it was a trap. And I'm sure he knew at this point that his daughter was dead. And he was the one who shot Cyril. That was the whole point of that fight. I mean, it was just It was similar to like when they used those two rebels to in last episode to kill off Cinta. It was so stupid and unnecessary. Now, if he was shot, like I said, either by Rebel or by Imperial, actually would have been even better if it was an Imperial, while he was standing in the middle of the massacre, that would have made sense. That would have been completely understandable. But then they decided to make this, to try to kill his character development and make his death so convoluted. I mean, I get that they wanted to show that the guy who wanted peaceful protest was actually the one who knew what the hell he was doing and actually saved Cassian. I get that they wanted that to be portrayed, but it was still so manufactured. So yeah, I did not like that he was killed, and definitely not the manner he was killed. And at least I loved the look on his face when Cassian asked him, "Who are you?" There was this moment before he was shot where he was deeply wounded that Cassian had no idea who he was, because he prided himself on moving up in the ranks of the Empire. I mean, even Dedra kind of chastised him for, "You enjoyed the promotions, you enjoy our relationship. What is the problem here? Why are you now all of a sudden having this righteous indignation when you didn't have a problem with any of it before?" Basically saying that you were perfectly fine with a fascist government as long as it benefited you. So who the hell are you to then turn around and claim some holier than thou position now that, it affects you because you know these people? So I was really looking forward to, even though he was fighting Cassian and he was trying to kill him, I was still looking forward to him joining the rebellion. Or at least, if not completely joining the rebellion, at least, giving up yours to the Imperials, to the Empire. But obviously this is going to turn into a come to Jesus moment for both Dedra and for his mother. Because they are both deeply, deeply, I mean, even before, when he first started his job on Gorman, he told his mother that she shouldn't believe everything she reads on Imperial news. So he already knew that the Imperials did propaganda. So, but yeah, this is going to be their call to action. This idea that the man that they cared about is now dead because of what the Imperials did. Because Dedra even looked like she was going to rip off her uniform. I really was hoping she would do that. But you could see that she actually did love Cyril. She actually did love him. And also the mom, even though the mom had a very strange way of showing it, even stranger than the way Dedra showed it, but whatever. But you could see that she was upset. I can only imagine that this happened, with a bit of a time jump, where after Dedra found out that she told his mom. Now, now what the story that they were told was, or that they assume. I do not know. It's possible they're going to blame it on the rebels. Or it's possible that Dedra is going to come clean to her mother and say, this is how he ended up being amongst the protesters. That he found out that we were doing this. Or maybe they're just going to get more deeply entrenched into the Empire because they're going to see the rebels as the bad guys. That's also possible. So yeah, I honestly thought that Wilman was going to be the one to end up dying. But we see how Cassian got his robot. Can't think of his name at the moment. Now, what I would like to know, that just seemed so random. I really thought that it was going to be something like there was going to be something fritzy with one of the programming, and instead of attacking the rebels, he has a mind of his own and can be reasoned with. But no, he was killed. He was dismembered, and Cassian decided that he was going to take him back. Why? Not a clue. So who knows? There's one more episode in this block, so we don't know if Wilman is still going to survive. I think it's possible he will, because there's usually just one major death per block. So I don't think that anybody of consequence is going to die. There might be more deaths, but it isn't going to be one of the main cast. Let me see what else was there about this episode. It was nice to see that the bellhop became a hotel clerk, and that he threw a bomb, but it seemed like it was at the front end of the hotel, which I was like, why are you destroying your own building? That made no sense. I understand he wanted that the barricades were probably right there, and that was the goal, but it just seemed bizarre. Because, there would be collateral damage, including him. So it was just very, very weird. Let's see, what else? I guess because it ended with Cassian leaving the Gorman massacre and crying, that I take it that we're done with Gorman and we're going to move on to something else to set up the last block of episodes. I'm not sure. I am not sure at all. But, yeah, I'm very bummed at how Cyril died. This episode kind of set it up. Like I said, he was in the middle of the action. But the way he died was just, like I said, manufactured. I did not like it. It should have been while he was in the plaza, just looking around, dumbfounded at all the destruction. Because I'm pretty sure that if Cyril survived, he could have given his side of the story and said, oh no, it was not a rebel that fired first. It was an Imperial who shot at another Imperial to give the other Imperials the the excuse they needed to start massacring people. because otherwise they were just peaceful, except for those few that were throwing rocks, and I really, really thought that they were going to attack just for that. I believe that is all I have for this video. I don't believe there's anything else I wanted to touch on. Nope, that would be all for this video. And with that, I will see you guys in the next one.